If Crazy8s didn't exist, it would have been much more challenging for me when I was starting out as a filmmaker.
It's so hard to do anything in the film business. There's so many things arrayed against you, so many challenges, and I think what's so important about Crazy8s is they provide you with the resources. They, in one fell swoop, peel away all these obstacles and allow you to make a high-quality short film that can really show what you do and showcase you in front of pretty much the entire Vancouver filmmaking community.
Crazy8s really lays the gauntlet. It's like you have to be able to make this film in 8 days. After, there weren't a lot of questions of whether or not I was capable as a director.
Thank you. Yes, I had the idea. Crazy8s, 8 days, 800 feet of film, and $800.
The famous $800.
When I was up here directing television or movies, I would be surrounded by these incredibly talented crew people, all of which had their scripts and ideas for films, and I thought there's got to be a way to help mine the talent here and give people the same opportunities that I had.
And it was Andrew, and then a series of people afterwards that actually made this reality.
Rick and my former boss, Rhonda, who's running the DGC, kind of cooked it up, and they both turned to me and they were like, here, we think you should give this a shot. You like this kind of stuff.
Emerging directors get a chance to, with only $800, they've only got $800 to make the whole short. Does nobody say goodbye anymore?
So we did 3 films the first year, and the rest is history.
There's no space for anything but dreaming.
It certainly has, over the years, transformed itself. The original concept for Crazy8s was to basically use up some short ends, have some fun, and have an excuse to drink beer.
Since 1999, we've made 115 films. The applications have doubled from roughly 100 a year to now around 200 a year. We have the biggest screening event in Vancouver of the year for a single night.
We brought in a lot more training programs, so directing workshops, producing workshops. We brought in script supervisors and script editors.
The films are phenomenal, and what you can do in 8 days is just kind of mind-boggling.
Even in film school, Crazy8s was like this apex of Vancouver film competition.
It's become the biggest networking event in the city.
And for an independent filmmaker, the doors that are opened and the exposure that you're given is something that you just can't find anywhere else.
It opened a lot of doors for me as a filmmaker. A Red Girl's Reasoning screened at VIFF and festivals around the world, and goes on to be taught in classrooms in terms of Indigenous studies and representation of Indigenous people on screen. Plenty of academics have written about it, which is also kind of neat and unexpected.
Crazy8 was an amazing spotlight for me, first just in the city. It was the first time I had a film play in front of a huge audience and showed the town that I was a director and I wanted to make movies. But then it went on to be an even bigger stepping stone for me, because that was the film that I used to get onto On the Lot, which was a reality show produced by Steven Spielberg looking for filmmakers from all over the world.
I'm not worthy. It's just awesome. To do that in one shot, I cannot believe it.
And that kind of broke me into LA, where I've been working with companies like Disney and Lionsgate, and that kind of launched me as being a director for the rest of my life.
Crazy8s was a game changer for me. I'd had a success with my documentary features, 65 Red Roses, Blood Relative, but I really wanted to show that I could work in scripted as well.
When I wrote and starred in Bedbugs, A Musical Love Story, one of the things that was really different for me is I got to frame myself. I got to play a character that I would never get cast as. And I went on to win the Leo for both actor and screenwriter for that one, and so that has also helped.
I was mostly writing kids' movies and looking to write something that had more of my voice, something that had more of my personality. The producer of Chemistry was Mark Stevenson, and we enjoyed working together so much we decided to make a feature, which turned out to be The F Word, which starred Daniel Radcliffe and Adam Driver, and the movie premiered at TIFF. I'm bragging now, but it still has the biggest sale of any Canadian movie ever and played in about 30 countries theatrically.
I just had sex, I'm about to eat nachos! It's the greatest moment of my life!
And all of that started, that relationship started because Mark and I worked together on Chemistry.
The crew that I met ended up becoming part of the crew that I work with still today. After Crazy8s, I had a chance to direct my first feature film. I was able to use the same cinematographer on Amazon Falls, and some of the houses I'd worked with before came on board and helped me out, and it was all through introductions through Crazy8s.
The level
of production. The quality that you get is unlike anything that you can make on your own in indie film here. It brings together the whole community and the best talent that this city has to offer in every department, in post, in lighting, in camera, and cast.
All these people are getting to work on films together, helping each other out. Maybe you help somebody one year and they help you the next. That community building is the most important part of Crazy 8s.
I support unique voices. There's kind of this drive to support women's voices, to support marginalized voices.
I think it's really important for people to have their culture or their gender or their selves represented.
Crazy 8s has been, I think, the biggest single impact on the Vancouver film community in the last 20 years. It's the thing that basically every year spotlights for everybody the filmmakers that we should all be paying attention to and supporting.
Happy anniversary, Crazy 8s!
If I was going to pick a metaphor for Crazy 8s, I'm going to say a jellyfish.
Crazy 8s is a shooting star. It's just gaining in speed and momentum. And it's just getting brighter every single year.
Crazy 8s is kind of like a blizzard that you make from things you find in your fridge.
Actually, now that I walk it through, it's more of a spider web.
Crazy 8s is like being shot out of a cannon, and while you're in mid-air of a cannon, there's like a thunderbolt that's like colored like the rainbow, and it grabs you and it shakes you around and smashes you on the ground and then throws you into the water. And then you have like all these mermaid people like lift you up and like, we got you, bro, we got you. And then you're like, yeah, I got this, I got this.
It's a wild ride and it's definitely worth it.
The image that comes to mind is almost like crowd surfing. You're at the back of this giant crowd of the whole community out in front of you, in the stage way up in front where you want to be. And everyone lifts you up and you kind of float and everyone sees you, all eyes become on you, and you're propelled forward all the way to the front of the stage where you're given the opportunity to do what you do best.